Hello, thanks for joining me for your Pure One Vinyasa flow here at Pure Yoga. My name is Megan and I'll be guiding you through practice today. Today I'd like to offer you lots of different options, and as I like to begin with a quote, and here's my little thought for the day. Creativity resides in each and every one of us. It takes shape in countless forms and manifests itself in many ways, including through word, song, invention, and artwork. Creators must let go of control to allow their muse to visit and inspire. Creativity thrives in release and contracts with control. To find your creative flow, release your grasp on the outcome. Trust the process and allow inspiration to have its way. Remove restrictions and feel free. So today I thought in our Vinyasa flow practice, we'd find some creativity, movement, and allowing ourselves to just feel no restrictions and feel if we need to ease up on a pose, if it feels too constricting to come down and into that full posture. I'm going to try to give you some options today to just ease up a little bit. So with that thought in mind, being creative with your practice, let's just come to just a gentle, easy pose, one leg in front of the other. And let's bring our palms up. Let the backs of the hands rest on your knees. And just begin to notice your natural breath. Notice where it fills in. Notice the depth of the breath. Notice the quality of the breath. Notice if it's smooth on the inhale and smooth on the exhale, or if you have any little jagged edges to the breath, any little hitches. Identifying those spots and aiming to just add some calm, add some smooth, rounding out the edges of the breath. Let the inhale flow directly into the exhale. And at the base of that exhale, after you squeeze all the air out, let your belly button come gently to spine. Let that exhale flow right into the inhale. Breathing in and out through our nose. Let that cleansing mechanism of the nose happen in your breathing. Feel your spine begin to slowly grow with the inhale. Feel your hip joints settle down into your mat with the exhale. Begin to move into a soft Ujjayi breath. Our Ujjayi breath threads over the back of the throat. We create a slight constriction in the throat, letting that breath be like a fogging of the mirror sound. Moves the body from the fight or flight of the day into relaxation response. Allowing your practice to be both relaxing and creative today. Let's take 2 more breaths just like that. Finding the soft wave of the breath. Bringing hands to heart center. You can continue to keep your eyes closed as you set your intention. Intention for your practice, for your day. I like to think of intentions as small little goals. Something as simple as just finding creativity in your life. We are at a point where we need to be creative in certain aspects of our life. So maybe something as simple as that. Take one more inhale here. And then gently let the lips part, coming into an open mouth exhale. Let your intention surround you. We're going to move into child's pose next. So I'm just going to face the side here. A lot of times in my videos that I've done, I've had two mats, but today I'm going to either face one side or the other. So you're going to get everything from the side angle today, and I will be cueing some right or left just so that I can always face the camera for you. Let's take traditional child's pose where we sit hips directly on the heels, if that's possible. If there's any knee joints, feel free to prop those hips up. That's just fine too. But we're going to aim to be in line, and we're going to take the knees directly underneath heart center and just fold completely down. I'm going to take my forehead to mat, and I'm going to reach down to the back here. Let my shoulders roll over, palms up again, receiving position. Come into child's pose. Find that connection with your mat. With this child's pose, our Balasana, we are able to have our back body breathe. So here, you can feel the belly breath, thinking about maybe a 3-part breath, feeling that low belly, letting air come into the rib cage, and all the way up into the collarbones. As you exhale, just settle in a little bit. Let the shoulders roll over. Let the hips sink back toward the heels. Begin to roll the forehead on your mat. Really feeling that connection and also allowing the neck to stretch out here. We have support of the head and just letting that cervical spine kind of stretch and turn, finding that range of motion. One more roll each direction. And then come to settle, forehead to mat right in the center. So our hands are reaching back. We're going to reach now toward our heels. And even if our hips are lifted off the mat, still reach toward those heels. Keeping your knees directly underneath you, we're going to come into rabbit pose. So on the next inhale, lift the mid back towards the ceiling, round out those shoulders. We're going to pull gently on the heels so that the crown of the head is lifting up. Tuck the chin slightly. And there's your rabbit pose. Feel that back body breathe. So that expansion happens on your back. Next, exhale, slowly come down back into child's pose. Maybe let the elbows flap out to the side. Inhale, come back up into rabbit pose. Exhale, slowly coming back down. So we're rolling on the head, letting that chin gently tuck. Exhale, slowly come back down. Just one more like that. So we're getting some back movement here, kind of similar to a cat back. Let that mid back lift. Let that crown of head gently touch. Lift up, exhale, slowly come back down. Now we're going to take the hands alongside here. Let the knees now come wide and reach forward, finding wide leg child's pose. Let's just exhale, coming all the way down. Forehead to mat. This time rock your hips from side to side. Let some motion come into the hips. And we had that belly connection to legs previously with traditional child's. Here we're going to allow that belly breath to just really expand. So let the low belly expand, rib cage alongside. You can feel that in your legs, expansion happening in the breath. And exhale, just allow yourself to sink back. Let your fingertips grab your mat. Feel the long spine. One more breath just like that. Next, inhale, we're going to slowly come up. You can leave your knees out to the side. Pick up your toes and exhale all the way down to the mat. Lift for cobra. Exhale, press that mat away. Back into our child's pose. So we're on the vastus medialis muscle right there on the inside of the knee. Using that as a slight cushion as we lower down our chaturanga push-up. Inhale, press that mat away. Exhale, sink back into child's pose. So beginning to link our movement with our breath, yoking as we do in yoga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sinking back. Let's do 2 more like that. Warming up our shoulders, warming up our wrists, elbows grazing that rib cage, and sinking back. Last one here. Pressing that mat away and sinking back. Slowly bring the palms in towards the head. Bring those knees in towards center and lift up into tabletop. So we're stacking our joints, wrist under shoulders, feeling the knees stack under the hip joints. Beautiful. We're just going to move through a little cat and cow with some leg lifts. So we're going to take the right leg to lift. Let the belly drop. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Let the back round out. Spine lifts. Inhale, flex the foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull it in. So same side, right leg. Let's just do about 4. So 2 more. Lift, press. Pull it in. Inhale, lift, press. Exhale, pull it in. Knee to nose. Bring the knee back down to the mat. Switch out the sides. Inhale, lift, press. Exhale, pull it in. So that's the left foot now lifting and pressing towards the ceiling. Let the belly drop. Exhale, round out the back. 2 more. Lift, press. Let that belly drop. Bring the gaze upward. Exhale, pull it in. Last one. Lift and press. Rounding out and pulling it in. Bring the knee back down. We're going to work into a little thread the needle. Center the left hand. Reach the right hand. Let's rotate the right wrist. We're going to come in and out a few times before we settle in. So taking now that right hand to thread, looking towards those right fingertips. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, little thread. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, bringing it through. Let's do 4, so 2 more. And thread. Last one. And this time we're coming all the way down. So maybe our shoulder comes down to the mat. Maybe we bring our left arm to reach overhead. And you can come onto your right cheek. You can sit the hips back towards child's pose, or you can leave the lips lifted high. So here's some creativity. Threading the needle, you can leave those hips high above the knees, or you can sink it back. So come to where it's comfortable for you. I'm just going to show this one from the front version too. So you're bringing that arm underneath the armpit, sinking back, getting a nice stretch across your tricep, a nice subtle twist through thoracic spine, through your mid-back. Take 2 more breaths there. Take your left palm, if you have it extended, bring it back underneath your shoulder. Press into your mat, come back up into your tabletop position. Let's do 1 more of the leg extension. Flex that right foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, round out the back. Bring that right knee back down. Both sides, left leg lifts. Bringing it back in, knee to nose, back to the mat. Switching sides on our thread the needle. Take the right hand to center. Lift the left palm, stack the joints. Wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist. Exhale, thread. Let your gaze follow those fingertips. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, thread. 2 more. And thread. Let your gaze follow so you're getting some movement through spine. All right, let's come down to the mat, coming into that thread the needle position. Be creative with it in your body. I'm going to come down with mine today. Coming into more of child's pose with the lower half, finding this twist with the arms. You can take your cheek to mat if that feels good. Just hold and breathe. maybe even closing your eyes, enjoying this stretch. After those 2 breaths, bring that right palm underneath your shoulder, scooting it back, pressing into the mat. Come back into your tabletop position. We're going to take one more wide leg child pose, knees out to the edges of the mat. Exhale, slowly come down, forehead to mat. Let those hips sink back. 2 long breaths here. Slowly come into tabletop after this next long breath. Inhale lifts you up. Stack the joints. We're going to move into a half series on the mat. Keeping my knees on the mat for this part of the portion of the half series. I'm going to bring my hands just slightly ahead of my shoulder line. Pick up the hips. So we did this on the inside of our knees earlier. Feel free to take that wide leg position again. Different spot takes that pressure. But I'm taking a more traditional here with knees directly behind me. Picking up those toes, modified plank pose. My core is working here. Exhale, I'm going to lower all the way down to the mat, keeping elbows into rib cage. So pressing those elbows back and away. Taking the toes now down, cobra pose. I'm going to press the tops of the feet into the mat and lift crown of the head and chest. Elbows are pressing back. Come back into a nice exhale. Nose hovers above the mat and press the mat away. Child's pose. Inhale, lift. Tabletop, modified plank. Exhale, chaturanga, modified with knees on mat. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, press that mat away. Sit hips to heels. Let's go through 2 more times. So about 4 here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, a little push up all the way down to the mat. Let the toes come down. Press those toes in. The toes are like the of our cobra, the tail of the cobra. So pressing in and then pressing the mat away. Last time through this modified series. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. We're going to hold our cobra for a moment. Take those toes. Release the hands back and we'll do a chest expansion in our cobra. Interlace the hands, or option, use that creativity, but grab those elbows. Or just reaching back, so lots of options there. I'm going to interlace today. I'm going to take a steeple grip. Open up the heart center, crown of head and chest lift. Let's take 2 long breaths here. 1 more. Release that grasp if you have it. Bring the palms underneath the shoulders again. Bring the nose down to hover, so you're neutralizing the spine. Press the mat away, engaging the core. Let's take our first down dog. Dig the toes in, lift the hips high, and just begin to bicycle the legs. Pressing one heel down. Work the feet, work the arches. Lift the hips high, let the head hang in between the biceps. And then let's do a little bit of footwork. Let's come up high on our toes. Let the arch stretch, exhale, let the heels melt. One more just like that, up high on your toes. And gently let the heels melt. Inhale forward into plank pose. So anytime we say plank in class, you can take that modified plank with knees on the mat. I'm going to take full plank as I flow in and out of plank back to down dog. So I'm going to take note of my hands and feet here. Hands are underneath your shoulder joints. Glancing back, feet are hip distance apart. So giving yourself a little space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press back into down dog. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press back. Inhale, lengthen, forward, plank pose. Exhale, come back. Let's hold down dog. This time we'll do a little work through the feet, just measuring out our distance a little bit, and also work through your ankles, side of the body there. Let's lift up high on your ankles, on your toes, lift the heels up, and then you're going to rotate heel to toe. Inhale, lift high, rotate heel to toe. So your heel just comes right by your toe. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, melt back. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, knees to mat, hips to heels, child's pose. 2 breaths. So we're going to go through that series with that rotation. One more time. My palms are getting a little slippery on the mat. Wipe them off. Take one more grounding breath here. Lifting up into tabletop. Digging toes into the mat for down dog, lifting high for down dog. Lift those hips high, heels lift. Exhale, rotate the feet heel toe. Inhale. So you're not touching that opposite toe. You're giving yourself some space. Inhale here, exhale, heels melt. Let's look to your hands and walk your feet up. Feet to hands, find ragdoll. Grab elbow to elbow and just sway. Letting your head hang in between your biceps. Nod your head, yes. Looking to the right and looking to the left. Letting go, let the weight of your head track you down. Change out the forearm that's in front. Continue to sway. One more look each direction. Now find full forward fold. Let your fingertips dangle towards your mat. Exhale it down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Let's come up halfway by pressing hands into shins. Pressing those shins back into your hands. Exhale back into your fold. Reverse swan dive to lift up. Reach the arms out to the side. And exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to go through Sun A a few times. And again, I'm going to face this way, give you a side version. Inhale, lift and reach. So we're reaching up, and exhale, swan dive down towards your mat. Arms reach out to the side. Inhale, lift halfway. Find that core lift, that core contraction. Hands pressed in, shins pressed back. Plant your hands on the mat. I'm going to step my right foot back, then step my left foot back, find my plank pose. Modified for this first one, and then the next one I'll show for a full version. Lower down, all the way to the mat. Find your cobra. Press the mat away. Exhale, find your down dog. Just hold and breathe here. One more long breath. Walk your feet to your hands. Find your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, find the full fold. Reverse swan dive, lift up. And exhale, hands through heart center. One more time through. Continue to lower those knees, modifying. Or follow along with me. Moving through a full version, plant the hands on the mat. Moving through high to low plank. So we're going to roll forward on the toes. Shift the shoulders slightly ahead of shoulder lines. Our palms are now lining up underneath the rib cage and lower down halfway. Flip the tops of the feet. Lift for up dog. Our hips are above the mat. Knees are above the mat. So no crunching in the low back. I'm going to use your core. Lift and find your down dog. Find that down dog. One more long breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. From here, we're going to find tabletop position. So come through plank, knees to the mat, find your tabletop position. I'm going to walk my hands back, find kneeling position, and take my right leg forward. Kneeling crescent lunge. Just hold here for a moment, stretching out your hip flexor. Let's open up little cactus arms. Exhale, bring it in. Maybe tuck the chin, palms and elbows can touch. Inhale, lift up again. Find your crescent lunge. So kneeling crescent. Feeling the knee above your ankle joint. And again, giving yourself some space. So this heel doesn't line up with knee, but comes back and has some space there. Beautiful. We're going to take our hands down to frame the foot, so leaning forward, and dig in the back toe, dig in your left toe. Warming up our hips a little bit more, so as hip flexors. Let the knees slightly drop, come to a hover, And then lift those hips. Maybe come to a little bit of a micro bend in the knee. Slowly lower down. Inhale, lift. Slowly lower down. Inhale, lift. Last one. So just doing about 4 of these. Inhale, lift. Now come into that. This is a low lunge. We're just going to do a nice gentle twist. So we're going to plant that left hand, reach the right arm up, gentle twist. Feel free to rotate the right wrist. We've done a few chaturangas here, so giving that small joint some love. Bring the gaze up toward those right fingertips. Beautiful. Bring that right hand back down to frame the foot. We're going to come up into crescent lunge. So lift up into crescent. Beautiful. Exhale into a nice twist. I'm going to give you a couple options here. Use your creativity if something else feels good too. So you can either take right hand to hip, left arm reaches forward, or from that crescent lunge position, open up into a nice big twist, reaching fingertip to fingertip. Beautiful. We're going to move big transition into a reverse warrior. So we're going to take the right arm, cartwheel underneath, left arm overhead. Let the back heel drop down. Open up the side body here, reverse warrior. Bring the gaze upward. Exhale, cartwheel the arms. Right then left, frame the foot. We're going to bring our right foot back to meet the left and find our plank pose. Moving through chaturanga, high to low. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, bringing it back to down dog. 2 breaths here. Find that ujjayi breath. Nice and soft and steady. We're going to find our tabletop position. Bring those knees down again. And we're going to do the same side. So our right leg's going to come forward again. So hands are going to walk forward. Same side, and we'll go through a couple more times. Just really getting into right leg forward. So it's going to be the left hip flexor we're getting into and twisting toward the right. So taking that right leg forward. Find your crescent lunge, kneeling crescent. Beautiful. Open up, cactus arms. Feel like there's a string tied to your sternum, reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull it in. Palms and elbows can touch, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift. Find that stretch. Exhale, bring your hands down, plant on the mat. Dig in the left toe. Come up into your low lunge. Plant that left hand, twisting low lunge. Look up toward the right fingertips. Beautiful. Exhale, bring that hand down. Lifting up, use your core, find your crescent lunge. Exhale into your twist. Beautiful, big transition. Reverse warrior. Inhale, looking up, gazing upward. Maybe sinking deeper this time. We're going to cartwheel the arms right then left. Frame that foot, plant the hands, bring that right leg back, moving high to low. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, bringing it back. Find your down dog. 2 breaths. Heels melt. Inhale forward into tabletop once again. Walking those hands back. Beautiful. Same leg, right leg forward. So now we're developing this flow. Find your kneeling crescent lunge. Open up. Big inhale. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Beautiful. Exhale, framing the foot. Digging in the back toe. Lift here. Big inhale to prepare. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen and hold. Exhale, bringing that hand back down. Inhale, lifts you up. Find crescent lunge. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reverse warrior. Let that back heel come down for stability. Exhale, cartwheeling the arms, right then left, framing that foot. Right foot comes back. I'm going to do modified version, this time knees on mat. Exhale, lowering down. Lift for cobra or up dog. Exhale, pressing that mat away. Digging toes in. Finding down dog, 2 breaths. One more time through this side, so we're going 4 times each side. Beautiful. Coming forward into plank, tabletop, walking hands back to kneeling position. Right leg forward, kneeling crescent. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bringing it in. Inhale, lift, find that stability. Exhale, planting the hands, digging in the toe. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, find that gentle twist. Inhale to lengthen. Beautiful. Exhale, bring that hand back down. Inhale, find your crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, bring those hands back down. Planting, right leg meets the left, high to low. Up dog or cobra. Bringing it back, find your down dog. Beautiful. One more long breath here. Let those heels melt, maybe even bend the knees. Look to the hands, walk to the feet to the hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, back into your fold. Reverse swan dive, lifting up. Little baby back bend. Exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Let's walk to our other side of our mat. And I'm just doing this, side version so you can see the other side too. Let's just move through one sun A here, just cleansing vinyasa. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Planting those hands, step or hop back to your plank. Moving high to low. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, bringing it back to down dog. Come into tabletop on this side. Walking the hands back to the knees, find your kneeling position. And this time our left leg is gonna come forward. Find your kneeling crescent lunge. Hold and breathe just for a few breaths here. So now we're working through the psoas of the right side. Big stretch, gets deep into hip flexor psoas. All those muscles, beautiful. One more breath here. We're gonna exhale, bring the foot, dig in the right toes this time and lift the hips up. You're in your lunge. So we'll warm up this side by lifting the hips. Big inhale. Exhale, let the knee maybe even come down to a hover. Lift the hips, maybe a little micro straightening, micro bend. Come back into that low lunge. Lift, reach. Beautiful, come back down. Last time. Little hands are TP'd alongside you for stability. Now we're in our low lunge. We're gonna plant the right hand and find that twist. Beautiful, let's come into some wrist rotation on this left side. Give that left wrist a little love. Come to stack the joints, big inhale here. Exhale, bring that hand back down. We're coming into our crescent lunge on the left side. Just hold here for a moment. And then come into your twist. So option to bring that left hand to hip, right hand can reach forward, or coming into that more open twist. So come to feel what works best in your body. What works best with the range of motion. Big transition between right arm overhead, right arm rests, left arm lifts. Reverse warrior, back heel comes down. Cartwheeling the arms left and right. Coming to frame the foot, picking up that back heel. Left foot meets the right. I'm gonna move through a modified version. High to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Press that mat away. Find your down dog. Nice inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Ujjayi breath. Coming forward into tabletop. Walking those hands back, kneeling position. Left leg comes forward. Crescent lunge. Beautiful. Open up the arms this time. Feel like there's a string tied to that sternum. Exhale, pull it in. Let the chin tuck. Inhale, open up again. Beautiful. Bring those arms to reach. Framing the foot, digging in the back toe. Planting the right hand. Find that twist. One more breath here. Pressing through that back heel a little bit. Find the length. Exhale, bring that hand down. Moving into crescent lunge. Find the stability between the feet. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open up, reverse warrior. Side body expands. Exhale, cartwheel the arms, right then left, or left and right. Left comes back, high to low. Up dog or cobra. Bringing it back to your down dog. Big exhale here, lifting those hips, heels melt. One more breath. Inhale forward, tabletop. Walk the hands back, kneeling. 2 more times through on this left side, left leg forward. Crescent lunge. Open up cactus arms. Exhale, bring it in. Tuck the chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, frame the foot. Dig in the toes. Left arm reaches. Find your twist. Beautiful, bringing it down. Plant the hand. Lift up in the center. Find your crescent lunge. Next exhale, open up into your crescent twist. Reverse warrior, big inhale. Let your body find the flow. Cartwheel the arms, framing the foot. Left comes back. I'm going to modify. Exhale it down. Up dog or cobra, big inhale there. Pressing the mat away. Find your down dog. One more time through on this left side. Knees come to mat. Hands walk it back. Kneeling crescent. Beautiful. Open up. And pull it in. Big inhale. Framing that foot. Digging in the toes. Find your twist. Bring the gaze upward. Beautiful. Bringing it back down. Find your stability. Crescent lunge. Open up, twist, reverse. Let that heel come down. Side body opens. Cartwheel the arms. Left leg meets the right, moving high to low. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, bringing it back. Find your down dog. Feel free to add any motion you need. I'm just gonna pedal a little bit. A little extra heat using that right now. Look to your hands. Walk your feet to your hands. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back into your fold. Reverse swan dive, lift up. Little baby back bend, open up heart center. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's open up wide leg stance on our mat. And we're gonna come and use this heat with a forward fold. Wide leg forward fold, prasarita. Let's take the heels to tick out slightly so we can feel the pinky edge side of our foot aligning with the edges of our mat. And go ahead and take a stance that feels good for you. You can even bend your knees, little micro bend in the knees. Protect that low back. So I'm gonna take my hands to my hips and just begin to hinge forward. Another option, a little longer lever, arms up to the side. Begin to hinge forward. Slowly come to where it's comfortable for you. So hands can stay at hips, hands can come down toward mat, hands can rest on ankle joints. Hold and breathe. Find that edge, that stopping point for you, and then let your head gently hang. Let the weight of your head track your spine down. Another option is big toe yogi grasp. Peace finger in between big toe and first toe. Thumb on top of toenail and let the elbows pull out to the side. Slowly let your head sink down. Let's stay here about 3 more long breaths. For these lengthened out breaths, feel free to find equal part, finding that matching inhale and exhale. Just enjoy the stretch. If you have that grasp, come back to ankles, releasing the grasp, or hip joints. Let's slowly come up halfway. And from that halfway point, bring hands to heart center. We're gonna move into a little balance. Let's bend the knee. And I'm gonna come off to this side. So it's my left side, so be your right. Either way. And we're gonna come to, you're still on the pinky edge side of that foot, and this side is still pinky edge, also straight, parallel to the edge of your mat. Bring your hip joint down as you bend the knee. Flex now the opposite toe. So we're in a little side lunge balance. So I'm going to give you a little option here. I'm coming low and deep for this one. Another option, using your hands as you get back up, is just to keep it high. So hip joint slowly comes to over that ankle, knee comes back. It's almost like a half of a chair pose where we're sinking back, weight into the heel, protecting that knee joint. Or coming into this balance where our heel is lifted, flexing, little side lunge balance, hold and breathe. So as we're moving into a balance series, begin to hone into your gaze, your drishti. Where are you taking your eyes? What works best for you? And feel free to be creative with that gaze today. You can take it low. It's a great spot to start. Or lift it high, maybe beyond you. Let's come down, hands come down to the mat for balance, for that stability. We're going to rotate toward this leg. So rotating up here. And I'm going to move into a warrior three. So I'm going to bring my hands to heart center. Let this back leg drag. Flex the back foot. Find warrior three. So we're balancing. I'm starting balance on my left foot here so that this leg can be towards the camera here. Feel this right hip joint if you're also on your left foot. Tick down. If you're opposite, it's the opposite hip of your foot. I want that to tick down, flex that back foot, and find one long line. Use your creativity here. Option hands to heart center. Hands can come out like airplane arms. Hands can reach forward, traditional warrior three. Beautiful. Let's come up, hands come to heart again. Let's squeeze in the knee for a moment. And then come into a standing twist. Our last little push here. This side balance, we're going to take, again, I'm on my left foot. So my left hand's going to reach across toward the right knee. Let's do a nice big circle. Open up that right arm. Look out towards those right fingertips. Drishti has shifted back. One more breath. Big inhale. Big transition for our release. Hands come to heart center. Open up the leg back into Prasarita. Exhale, fold. That one's going to feel good. Let your fingertips gently touch your mat. Let your toes lift up. Feel the pinky edge side of the foot. Align with the edges of your mat, getting that stretch all the way outside of your legs. And just sink it forward. 2 more long breaths. Find that ujjayi breath. Make it equal part. Just gently center yourself here. Coming up halfway. Take the same version of your halfway positioning you did last time. Maybe you kept hands at hips. Maybe you kept them at heart center. Just find that lift. And then we're coming into our balance on the opposite side. So we're keeping those pinky edge side arranged there, taking the hip down. I'm going to show it lifted this time. So I'm going to stay lifted. The option if you're coming down is that heel's lifting, you're finding that balance coming down. You can take this opposite leg to lift. Toe can point slightly there. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to show it lifted because you can stay lifted. You can even come to flex. And then we're going to come into that. One more breath. Then coming into our warrior three. So we're going to come around. You can stay from that lifted position. Find the balance on, this one's my right foot now, on the right. And then another option with the warrior three. Have this gentle toe touch down. That's okay. Feeling that balance over knee, over ankle. Or full warrior three. Find airplane arms, more of an airplane pose. Hands to heart center. Find that reach. Feel this opposite hip joint of knee, of foot. Press down, angle down. Long line. So lots of options there. If you fall like I just did. Come right back into it. One more breath. Release to bring that knee up. Left knee comes up. Let's squeeze it for a moment there. Coming into a nice twist. So now I'm balancing on my right foot. Right hand's gonna reach across. Left arm, open up. Nice little twist. Find those 90 degrees. Knee, ankle, hip joint. Maybe bring that gaze, that drishti behind you. Big challenge there. One more breath. Gently release. Bringing that foot back. Wide leg. Exhale into your fold. Long breath of stillness, of release. Let the head hang. Maybe reaching, you can reach in between the legs. Take the same grasp. Couple more breaths. Let's come out of it nice and slow. Hands can come to hips, gently lift up. Beautiful. We're going to come all the way down to our mats. Step the feet together right in the center. And we'll do a little core work for boat pose. So let's find some creativity here at this one too. Heels can come to mat. Sit nice and tall and just gently hinge back. Find the sits bones. Those heels can lift up gently. Open up the arms. Beautiful. There's a spot to be. Here's a spot to be a little more lifted. Here's a spot to be traditional boat. So come to where it feels good to you today. I'm going to modify a little bit today. Beautiful. Let's release. Bring the feet down. Sit nice and tall. We'll come right back into it. Hinge back. Flex the feet. Maybe change it up this time. Maybe just keep it low. Breathe. As you breathe, feel lengthening from those sits bones all the way through crown of head. One more breath. Find a nice release. Sit nice and tall, big inhale. Come back into it. Flex the toes. Open up the arms. Take a different version this time. Maybe instead of flexing, we point. Feel how that feels in your body. Change it up. Last breath as I'm rocking out of it. Release. Let's do 4 one more time through. This time let's add some twists. Flex those heels. Come back, hinge it back, hands to heart center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist away. Inhale, center. And twist. Center and twist. Back to center, gently release. Sit nice and tall, beautiful. And we'll come into, let's come into a down dog again. So from here, I'm gonna cross my legs underneath. Kind of fun transition, go forward, and then walk back. Find your down dog. Big exhale. Work it out a little bit. We're gonna stretch out the abdominals with a little up dog tutorial. So in our vinyasa, in our sun A, kind of walked us through this a little bit. Let's do a little bit more from here. From down dog, come into plank, flip the tops of the feet, let the hips gently drop, but stack the shoulders above your wrist joints and just feel that nice stretch. Maybe even look upward toward the ceiling, toward the sky, wherever you're practicing today. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then exhale, bring those hips back for down dog. Once again, last down dog of your practice. We're gonna take pigeon. I'm gonna take my left knee forward first. So left knee is gonna come forward. Both hips are gonna come level with the mat. Lots of options here too. So any knee issues, come to roll on your back. Take your left knee into our chest. You can flex this left foot and just hold that knee inward. You can kind of do almost a thread the needle posture and then coming down to your mat. So you're getting this hip opening. If you're taking traditional pigeon, come to face your mat, square your hips, lengthen the spine, and gently hinge forward. Maybe come down to elbows. Maybe come to stacked fists. You can bring your forehead down to stacked fists. Maybe come to stacked palms. Let the elbows come out to the side. Feel your hips square and lift. And then gently let them sink down. About 10 breaths here. So we're using the heat we've created in practice just to really sink into this posture. Come into our left hip joint. With each inhale, feel your spine gently lengthen. So lengthen out. With each exhale, let your hips gently melt down toward your mat. There's flexion in this left foot, and mine is a little close to my body. You can have that foot parallel to your mat up here also. So listening to what works best for you is always the most important thing. Let's think about those last 2 breaths, maybe having that equal ratio, equal part. Gently lift up, square your shoulders, and then we're going to come onto this left hip joint. So roll onto the left hip joint and open up your right leg down to the right corner of your mat. Or I'm facing opposite of you, but either leg is fine. We're going to start by side body opening here, more of a little bit of a dancer stretch, and then move into one leg forward fold. Hand is going to reach down toward that foot. You can do that big toe yogi grasp once again. And take your opposite arm to reach overhead. Open up the side body. Feel a long stretch, fingertips through this hip joint. Allow your knee just to melt downward. Big inhales, big exhales. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Take your outreached arm there and rotate it down toward your leg. This time you're going to feel yourself square your shoulders and exhale as you hinge down. Knee toward nose, tight hamstrings. I've been running a lot lately. So give yourself some grace here. It's okay if you're not getting that knee down toward your nose. Aim for as straight as possible back. Find that hip flexion and just hinge it down, and that's going to get deep into your hamstring. So allow yourself just to melt down, melting, sinking breath. Inhale to lift up. We're coming into pigeon on the right side now, so your leg is extended, or if you're mirroring me, the opposite, and you're just going to extend that back leg, bend the front one, flex that front foot. Find your pigeon. On this one, it's my right side, so letting those hips square first, sit nice and tall, lengthen the spine, then hinge forward. Coming to elbows, coming to stack fists, slowly hinging down. Allow your breath to just slowly bring yourself down. A nice sinking breath. And we're here for about 10 breaths, so really just enjoy this posture. Any knee issues, this is how you'd come into it. You'd come on your back, come into it, just just as so, bending that knee in toward your body, holding that foot. That takes the pressure off the knee joint, takes that compression off. You're still getting a bend, still getting the flex, and still getting that nice hip opening on that side. Wherever you are, think about that breath again. Probably got about last 4 long breaths. After this last equal part breath, equal ratio, slowly hinge back up. We're going to come onto the right hip joint, rock onto that hip joint, flex the left foot, reaching hand toward leg, opposite arm will reach overhead, open up that side body, bring the gaze upward, maybe to that eye of the elbow. Let yourself open up side body, inhale. Feel the recirculation of the blood through this right hip joint. There was compression going on there with knee and hip. So nice recirculation. 2 more breaths. Letting this hand come down now toward the leg. Square off the shoulders. Feel the hips square. Coming into your one leg forward fold. Again, tight hips, tight hamstrings. Work with your body. Straighten out that spine. Find that hinge forward. Let your breath bring you down. Slowly lift up. We're going to come into some twists, seated twists. So I'm going to come into a pretty deep option. You can leave this leg extended, cross over, and feel the hip joints square. I'm kind of facing the end corner of my mat. And I'm going to wrap around the arm and take same leg that's bent. That arm is going to twist overhead, come to my spine, and stay there. So that's an option. Little more lifted, little more open. If you'd like, you can bring that extended leg back, heel toward hip joint, and come a little bit more compression. And that's where I'm going to stay today. And hold and breathe here, looking over your shoulder and back of you. Feel the spine lift with each inhale, exhale. Just find that nice release. One more long breath. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Squeeze it in, exhale. Belly button to spine on that exhale. Release, coming forward with the gaze. I'm going to try something that may or may not work out, the twist to move into the opposite direction. You've probably done this in class before. It's a challenge. Let's try it. So we're going to leave our toes right where they are. Lift up and twist away from your... Oh, it did work. It did work. Just away from yourself. Rewind now. Your opposite knee will be lifted. Take that opposite arm and hug in that knee. So here I'm beginning with my really bound twist here. Heel toward hip joint. Take that arm, same leg that's bent, and place it behind you, looking over that shoulder. So there's a good place to stay. I'm just going to stay here a few breaths, and then I'll show you with leg extended underneath. So just exhale, find that twist. Squeeze all the air out. All right, I'm going to show you that leg extended. So if you'd prefer to have that leg extended, extend that leg out. And then if you had it that way and weren't able to do the spin move, You're just switching out the legs. So when I spun too, I ended up not quite on my mat, so feel free to just adjust yourself. Last 2 breaths. Gently come around with the gaze first, release the leg. Let's come all the way down to our mats. Bring your legs down to the end. Use your core all the way down. Let's take the hands to interlace behind the head. A little sunny day pose. I feel that sunshine through the windows at the studio here. So you're interlacing behind your head and your thumbs are at the base of your spine. Let's just do a little massage of the thumbs at the base of the head, base of skull, I should say, and where the skull and the spine connect. A little bit of massage using those thumbs. And now kind of press in at that base. Those hands are interlaced, cupping the hands, cupping the head. Gently lift, feel the weight of your head. Let your elbows come out to the side, and then slowly set your head down. Slowly let your elbows melt to the side, and this is a sunny day pose. So letting those shoulders just release. Shoulder blades fall back and down. There's nice space between ear and shoulder. You can stay here with your legs also, or find the soles of the feet to come together and let the knees fall off to the side. Finding that release through hip joints. Couple more long breaths here. Allowing your eyes to close and just feel the stretch of the whole spine, crown of head. Letting that spine rest down toward hip joints. So you're using this gentle grasp behind your head to kind of track you back. It's nice and gentle though. Last breath. You can do a gentle lift of that head to release the hands. Keep the head lifted, bring the knees up, and then reach toward those knees, find egg pose. Let's take our forehead to reach toward the knees. Find all the energy of our practice into one nice little ball. Big inhale here. And big exhale, releasing the legs down to the corners of the mat. Open up the arms, find your Shavasana, your final relaxation. I love this interpretation of Shavasana. A teacher was asking children what they thought of this posture, and one child responded that he said, your body gets to sleep and your mind gets to watch. And that's truly what should be happening here. So your mind is just watching your body, noticing where there may be sensation, where there may be muscles holding on, and your mind gets to tell your body to release. Your mind gets to notice your breath, coming back to noticing the rhythm, the cadence. Coming back to noticing the depth, the quality. Feel free to add on to your practice by staying here as long as you would like. Finding this time in your day to have this meditation. Just honing in completely on how your body feels, honing in completely on the rhythm of the breath is a beautiful form of meditation. stay in there as long as you need. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe reach your arms behind your head. Maybe bring legs together into one long line, full body stretch. Next, exhale, roll to your side using your arm as a pillow. Finding a breath of gratitude, a prayer of gratitude for your practice today. For your positive attention to your body. For allowing yourself creativity in your movement to honor your body today. Taking your time to slowly come up to seated position, ending the way we began. Coming back to that intention that you set, that small goal, maybe just for your practice, but maybe for your day also. After you've come back to that, bringing those hands from heart center to your forehead, may there be peace in your thoughts. Bringing hands to your lips, may there be peace in your words. And bringing hands back to heart center, may there be peace in your actions. The light in me salutes the light in you with a gentle bow forward. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.